Hi guys, it's Jade from Nested Knowledge. Today I'm going to walk you through how to use Study Inspector. So you can think of Study Inspector as the library of all the records in your nest. When you navigate to this page, you'll see right off the bat 230 studies are the total number of studies in this nest. And what you can do is apply individual actions to records, filter to subsets, take a look at what different types of studies are in my nest. And the first thing you want to do is add a filter. So by selecting this Add Filter drop-down, you'll see we have lots of different filters to choose from. And the ones I want to focus on to show you today that might be the most helpful for you are underneath bibliographic is keywords. So this can be good to filter to a certain set of studies that have certain keywords. So this nest we were looking at non-small cell lung cancer. So let's say I just want to see studies where the keyword is NLCLC. I can do that. Okay, 26 records. Filtered, so that's great, and then I can take a look at each of them individually and whatnot, and I'll dive into what that looks like in a second. Other filters I want to show you, it can be good to filter to studies where the final decision was included. Okay, this is 10 studies, and you can go in and click in each of these. Other filters, reviewer screening, so if you want to see studies screened by a certain user, let's say I just want to see studies that are screened by me, I can do that this way. Great, okay. Another filter might be advancement probability. If you have trained a screening model or you've got a robot screener turned on, you can see which studies are recommended or excluded or have your own custom range. Other helpful filters, tag. Tag is a very helpful filter. You can filter to a certain tag. So let's say I just want to see studies that are randomized controlled trials. Okay, that's just the one tag in this particular study, since this is just serving as an example. Other things, you can do tag contents. So let's say I want to see studies where the trial phase is trial phase 3. I can do that, add that, that's one study, great. Lastly, under search, maybe I want to see studies that are filtered from a specific search. So the first search, let's say, okay, 186 records. If I delete that, I can see out of 230 records total. And when you're adding in different filters, you might notice, so especially in this, the tag filter, let's do an intervention in particular. Okay, so this particular tag has no studies, but you'll see up here, there are two circles. If I select this first circle, that is going to negate that tag. So what that's done is showing me studies that do not have the tag of afatinib. So if I unselect that, it should be empty. Then you'll notice the star just here, and this refers to where the tag is within the hierarchy. So actually, if I show you a bit different tag that might make a little bit more sense, if we do interventions, so we know interventions is the parent tag, whereas these tags underneath are the child tag. So if I select that, that's going to show me all studies that have either interventions or its child tags reported. But if I just want to see studies that have the interventions tag, I can uncheck that star and see that. So in this case, there aren't any. Other things you can do in Study Inspector, you can edit the view of what you see here. So columns, we've got title, author, and publication year. But let's say you want to add in some other columns that can be useful. So final screening status can be useful, so you can see even in the overview what that status is. You might want to see its advancement probability, again, if you've got that turned on. If you've got the citation you might want to take a look at. Publication type, and so on and so forth. You can edit these columns just to take a look at here. But one of the main things you can do is do individual actions, as I said, and when you're adding in filters, you can also use shortcuts. So rather than going in and finding it within this long filter list, you can add in different shortcuts. So what you can do here is filter to you can do a title abstract search, a full text search, filter to tags, just by starting to type. So in this case, I want to filter to included studies, final screening included studies. I can see there are 10 records to match that. So what I can do after I filter to my set of studies, I can go ahead and select a study that I want to go in on. And you'll see here it looks very similar to how the studies look in the queues, in the screening queue, the tagging queue, and whatnot. So you've still got your abstract, your full text, supplement, related reports, that sort of thing. And you'll notice on the right-hand side, you have all of your modules in one place. So whereas in the queue, you have to go, step by step, here you can do it all in one place. So this particular nest was set up for dual 2-pass screening. So we've actually got the screening modes separated into abstract screening, full text screening, and then the tagging portion after that. So if you are in that 2-pass screening mode, you'll see the abstract full text separated. If not, it'll just say screen up here. If you're in a dual mode, you'll be able to, if you're an admin, see your decisions and edit your decisions as well as the adjudicate space. So in here you can see, okay, this study's been advanced. Maybe I want to change that decision to exclude. I can come in and select an exclusion reason, or I can unscreen using this button here. If I want to undo that record, put it back into the screening queue. I can also see how many screening decisions have been associated with this record, so 2 in this case. And that's on the U page of the screening. If you want to adjudicate, it'll look a little different. You'll see the 2 screening decisions, and then again you can change that final decision. Looks exactly the same in the full text, but except you've got include instead of advance, since it's at the full text stage, and the adjudicate page looks similar. Tagging, when selected, you can then come in, make any edits to existing questions, update the evidence, that sort of thing. And if you have the optional modules turned on, so meta-analytical extraction and critical appraisal, they'll also show up here. So to show you very briefly what that looks like, is they'll simply be populated up here for you to select in on and again make those edits. Great, and these tabs down here will be exactly the same as the ones you see in your queue yet again. So you've got comments and the history of each of the records. And what you can do is actually change the status. So if you'd like to change this to incomplete or complete, you can do so. Incomplete puts it back in the tagging queue for the researcher, for the user to redo. But if you want to mark it as complete, take it out of that queue, you can do that here as well. Great. So at the moment when we've been adding filters, we've been doing it in simplified mode. Another thing you can do is use our advanced study inspector mode. And the way that works is when you're in simplified mode and you add filters together, so let's say I wanted to see studies that are included and also have the tag randomized controlled trial. Okay, so I can see this study is included and has the randomized controlled trial, because in simplified mode, these filters are layered, they're stacked on top of each other. But let's say you wanted to see studies that are included or have the tag randomized controlled trial. That's when you would use the advanced mode. To access it, head to advanced up here, and you might recognize this looks a little similar to search exploration. So the functionality is the same. And you'll see on the right hand side you can actually visualize that Boolean query that is being created when you're adding these filters. So we can see, yep, they're stacked, they're being ANDed together. But let's say we want to do this filter or this filter. We would click group and drag that into the middle, add the filters into this group, and you'll see on the right hand side now it's showing include studies or those tagged with randomized controlled trial, and the set of studies underneath here update accordingly. So that's about 10 records now. You can mix and match with these and sort of add as many filters as you like, depending on what you want to find. So if you wanted to negate this group, so I don't want to see studies that are included or have the tag randomized controlled trial, that's pretty much all of them. Or if you wanted to negate specific filters within the group, you can do that as well. So it can be really good to use this Boolean query study inspector to help you find the studies that you're wanting to find. So whether that's, specific tags, a tag that might have this intervention or this intervention, let's say. So if we quickly do this intervention, at the moment, none of them have both. but if you add in a group, pop those in here. Okay, in this particular case, there hasn't been much tagging, but you would see those studies update accordingly. Great, the last thing in Study Inspector is this explore function down here. If you select that, it's going to show you and it's going to generate a search exploration of the records in your nest, of the filtered records in your nest. So it can be quite nice to see those P-codes generated from the updated studies and topics, keywords, etc. Great, that is how to add filters in Study Inspector, make edits to individual studies. Feel free to take a look at my next video, which will be about bulk actions. So you would add a filter and do a bulk action, whether that's to update full texts, upload full texts, download certain sets of studies and that sort of thing. Yeah. Thanks so much, guys, for watching this video. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.